All right. Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Gabi. Mwah.
Mwah. Welcome back.
Yes,
It's
we
been
are
too long.
back.
It's
We
been
are
way
back.
too
It's
long.
been way too long.
It's
How
good to
long?
be back. It feels good. It's been,
Forever.
yeah, at least 4 weeks, I would say.
Yes.
At
We've
least
been
4
in
weeks.
Canada. We've been in
Yes.
the
Yeah. You were
past,
overseas.
past
Yeah.
life and body webinars, and where I
Yeah.
was. And before that, I was in Israel.
Yeah.
Yes, I
No.
was. Where were?
You were traveling. I don't know
Yeah,
where, but you
yeah.
were around.
Yes.
And then Canada, and then you stayed
Then-
more in Canada.
That's correct. Yes.
It was amazing, and that's actually what we're talking about today. But Canada.
We're going to talk about Canada.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Okay.
But first things first, if you're on, please send us a message, say hello,
hi.
let us know if the sound is good.
good.
That's the main
Yeah,
thing. Sound and
that's
video. I'll check as well.
sound. Yes.
I'm checking. Oh, yeah, everything's good on my side.
Okay.
Good. Okay, we are on. So today we're talking about. Hi, Janelle.
Hi.
Okay, fantastic.
Sounds great. Excellent.
So today we are talking about what everyone has been talking about in the Guaranteed Prosperity family.
Yes.
For anyone that's lucky enough to be in the WhatsApp group after the seminar, it hasn't stopped with wins every single day. People are sharing wins,
A lot.
life-changing wins.
Hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds a day with a whole new viewpoint on life, on
And
business, on their
results.
body, results,
Yes.
actual, all day long.
Yes.
Their families change. People that
Yeah.
aren't even interested in
Yeah.
anything to do with spirituality or
Yeah.
that don't even really follow Guaranteed Prosperity, their lives changed
Yeah.
by the people attending the seminar. So that's been incredible.
Yeah.
So
And
there's
hi, Ronel. Hi, Eva and
Harold, hello, and Bridget,
Hello.
yes.
Bridget. Hello.
Ronel, yes, so lucky.
Yes. And Margaret. Hello.
Hi, Margaret. Hi, Rushina. Fantastic,
Yes.
fantastic.
Okay.
So yeah, really, there was a lot of hype and a lot of talk for anyone that's somehow connected to Guaranteed Prosperity. They've heard about Canada.
Mm-hmm.
A seminar about past lives, but also
And
about the body,
Yeah.
but in a very crazy, different way
Yeah.
that is super magical and wow.
Yes.
So it's almost like, where do we begin? Because it was 7 days, almost 100 hours of intensive, unbelievable, earth-shattering material.
Yes.
So it's almost like, where do we begin?
At the results.
The results, yeah.
Yes, because the results is what's important.
True.
And I think there is the past lives and there's the body.
Right.
So when we talk about the body, there's a principle that says that when you have a problem and you try to handle the problem and the problem deteriorates or it become worse,
Yeah.
you're trying to solve the wrong problem.
Yes.
And like this has been invented about the body. Everyone tried to handle the body with special diet, special exercise, special this, special that.
Mm-hmm.
And the body is giving problem to basically everyone.
Yeah, that's so true.
And the reason is that the body is not the problem. And I'll tell you something now that's not to you, but for most of the people, it will sound crazy. This body is just a reflection of a parallel body that the spirit runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
yeah. Chew on that. Yeah.
And the parallel body is composed of those anchor points that holds everything together. So if I take your arm, so you've got your arm, but outside of your arm there are anchor points that holding the elbow in place and the wrist, and when you actually move this arm, you don't move the arm, you move the anchor points so the arms move. Now it might be just a theory for some people or not, but the fact is that when you start to handle the anchor point body, the body gets handled.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it is nonsense, it works.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So there might be something to it.
So,
and
yes.
really, people's total bodies, lifelong physical issues change. Knee problems, neck problems, stomach issues.
You can change your appearance. You can change your height. You can change diseases. You can change everything by that.
Yeah.
So this is the first part.
Mm-hmm.
And the second part about past lives. So most of the people think about past lives as life that they have lived before.
Yes.
Which is true, but it's not accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's important is not the life that you lived before, because the spirit don't die.
Right.
So since the spirit don't die, what do you mean past lives? It's the same life.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So actually what you have is not past life. It should be called past understandings.
Mm-hmm.
So you had past understandings, and if you handle those understandings, if you realize what were those prior understanding that go head to head with your current understanding, you get here a stop, you get a problem. So your life is a problem. And when you take responsibility for one of those understanding, either the past or the current one, the other one get dissolved.
Yes. Yeah.
So
just on that, like, let's say as an example, if my current understanding is that this is my current life. My name is Gal, etc., etc. But I had a different body, let's say, of a girl or a guy, let's say a girl named Jenny, right? So, and that's what people would think about. Oh, reincarnation. I was Jenny. I came back as Gal.
yeah, but actually it's the same you.
Exactly.
You just had the different understandings.
Yeah. So not just a different body.
Yeah, the body is just the result of your understanding. If you will have now a dream, and you will have an understanding that you are falling, you will be falling.
Yes.
Or that you are a knight, you will be a knight.
Yeah.
Your understanding is what makes the current body. Your understanding, your viewpoint is what makes the environment.
Yes, true. Yeah, because two people can walk into a room and see a totally different room, a totally different party. It's a totally different environment.
And you can hallucinate this. So you can go and be sure that an elephant running after you.
Yes.
And everyone will tell you not. But for you, it's the most real thing in the universe.
Right.
So what's real to you is based on your understandings, based on your viewpoint.
Yeah.
So the thing to understand is that past life is not trying to remember something, because anything you try to remember will be a lie, because remembering by definition is not looking at the original, it's looking at a copy or looking at a version of the original. So it's not exactly accurate. So it will be lie. So it will add more complication.
So, but just sorry, before we move on from that, right? If I remember my breakfast, explain to somebody, why is that a lie? What do you mean exactly?
Because the breakfast was at a specific temperature, at a specific place, with a specific muscle tension, with a specific feeling, with a lot of things. There was a whole package of 57 different at least 57 senses.
Yes.
That was acting and receiving information. Okay.
Yes, 100%.
What you retained in the picture is maybe 5% out of it.
True.
Yes. So it's like remember those old pictures with old cameras that were not so well pixelated versus today's pictures, which are much better, but still they're not 100%.
Yeah.
They're a change of the original.
Yes.
And not only that they're a change of the original, you can change them by software and you can do whatever you want.
True.
So
that's why it's because it's not what it was.
Original.
It's a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. It's not the original. A lie means a change from the original.
Yes, I see. And as time goes by, of course, what you remember is going to be very skewed from what really was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because of that, because the pictures are not actually what it is, what you can reconstruct is your understandings.
Yeah.
And because understandings are not based on a picture. This is what the spirit knows. Picture is what the spirit looks at.
I see.
You get
yes.
it? So it is what you know versus what. So how do you come to get this understanding? And by the way, once you have the understanding, you have the actual moment of creation. You have the true picture.
Yeah.
And that's why people were confused and thought that they are going to past lives, which is something to do with remembering. It's not. It's actually recreating the moment.
Right.
It's not remembering the moment, because remembering will be cheating you and will get you down to an even worse position.
Yeah.
It is recreating the moment. And when you find the truth about something, it stopped to exist. You can recreate it, but it stopped to exist. And when it stopped to exist, it means it stopped affecting you, because only lies affect you. Truth do not affect you.
Amazing.
This is really unbelievable. Only lies affect you.
Yeah.
So if you feel something, oh, I have a pain, it's a lie. You find the truth about it, the anchor points, move them, boom, fixed.
Yeah. Incredible. So people actually need to learn how to recreate past lives as opposed to just remembering things.
Yeah.
Because the more you remember, the more of a skewed picture you get, meaning you're getting false pictures, false information, and then your life is just going to go down. But people try to remember, and they do all kinds of exercises around that.
And they always tell you, yes, I remember, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah,
They
that's
always
true.
have this moment or the degree of uncertainty.
Yeah.
You are only unsure about lies. You are definitely sure about the truth.
Yes.
So once you get that, you would say, okay, fine. So what's the process? This is exactly what I'm going to cover in the past life webinars. We're going to do this whole series of webinars that for the people that have been in Canada will be just a continuation, more data.
Yeah.
And for new people, they will learn the techniques on how to gain those understandings so they can actually go back to past understandings, which as a result will turn on past lives as they were, not as a memory. Which this
That's
is like
revolutionary. Yeah,
unbelievable.
That's amazing. And so what would be an example of a understanding that somebody might want to know or discover, or an example of what does that mean, an understanding?
Okay, so let's assume that you had an understanding in past lives that life is dangerous. That really life is dangerous. You need to be aware. You need to be afraid. You need to be cautious.
Yeah.
Now that was in 300,000 years ago, and today life is different.
Yes.
But you still go with the feeling that there is something that threatened you, that you still, so on the one hand, you're very powerful, you see all the opportunities, and you have these ideas, I'm going to do this business, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and you want to do all kind of things. And on the other hand, you've got country force that tells you, no, don't do that, it's dangerous, you're going to be eaten, your family will die, it's bad, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And you sit in the middle in what people know as a maybe or as a doubt,
Right.
which is really two opposing certainties. You are certain that you are powerful, and you are certain that it's super dangerous, that you mustn't do that, and you cannot move. And so you have amazing angel pushing on the one hand, an amazing lie pushing on the other hand, and what you get is a problem.
So people have powerful engine, handbrakes up.
Yes.
There and there. That's they generally don't move because they know they have oomph, but there's nowhere to.
Yeah.
And so that would be just based on some understanding that they had that I need to be careful.
Yeah.
And
of course, this understanding comes from an incident that happened to them, blah, blah, blah. But it's the understanding, not the incident.
Yeah.
Because when you look at an accident, let's say there is an accident, it is your understanding of the accident that describes from your viewpoint what is the accident. It's not what actually happened, because 5 people see 5 different accidents.
Yes, true. So that understanding could have been accurate at the time.
It was a viewpoint at the time. It was your viewpoint at the time.
Right.
And that was the truth for you.
Yeah, which may or may not have brought you good results, but you had this decision, this thing of, I understand this. Yes. This is the way I need to live.
Yeah. You were sure 100%. This is a total certainty. Let's have a look at the comment.
Yes, absolutely. Harold says, I just had amazing wins in the gym with the anchor points.
Amazing.
He did the seminar in Toronto. Yes, exactly. The anchor points was amazing. Rashina asks, so we recreate the past in order to have a new understanding of the past situation.
No, we recreate the past in order to avoid something. You keep it there because there was a danger, because you failed. The only part of the past that you're still keeping, that still affects you, the only part of the past that is a lie, is something that you failed at, that you consider that did not bring you the expected results.
Yeah.
You don't go and let's look at yesterday. You don't remember yesterday. Oh, I have a hand, because it's nothing. You
Yeah.
don't think, oh, I have a hand. You know that you had a hand.
Yeah.
You don't remember you had a hand.
Yeah.
But you do remember the accident that you had yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So only things that contain a lie, or only things that are not ideal from your viewpoint, you remember
And hold on to.
and then so they affect you.
Yes.
Because you don't actually anything that you hold on to, any piece of past, mess you up.
Amazing. That actually explains why you can have, let's say you do a show, you can have 100 people tell you how amazing it was, and one person gives you a criticism,
Yeah.
and that's all you think about.
Yeah.
Because A, it's a lie.
Yeah.
B, you hold on to it. C, it affects you.
Yeah.
Amazing. William said, wow, this is amazing. Makes sense. You once said that something like the spirit can have multiple bodies. Is past understanding what you were talking about?
So you can have multiple bodies, because a body is only a tool for the spirit to create an effect. Okay, so the spirit can create sub-spirits that run a body or number of bodies. Those sub-spirits get together as in an organization and can run one body, and then another organization that run another body. And yes, you can. You actually not only can, but every being on Earth today run the body on Earth, but part of you, or the majority of you, is not here.
Amazing.
Yes.
So the question is, past understanding what you were talking about, is that connected to the multiple bodies thing?
So the multiple body thing is just you have a tool that you use.
Yeah.
And the tool that you use is a tool. It's just sub spirits. You as a spirit is the one that have the understanding, the one that decide.
Yeah, and that's just from different
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Eva said this is very interesting. Yeah. William said wow as a response to the question he asked. Bridget said everything you're saying makes total sense to me. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. So I want to talk more about it, but just before, let's talk quickly about the webinar that's coming on Thursday.
Yes.
Because it's free. So we want to invite everybody that's on, especially if it's interesting for you.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what's covering there versus, I mean, it's going to be impossible to do what was done in the live seminar, but it's going to be very incredible.
It will be amazing. It will be for the people that been on the live seminar. They will have one viewpoint.
Yes.
On the material, and they will hear one thing. And probably the most amazing thing about what we are doing is that we're teaching one piece of data that we know which person will hear it how. So you can have in the same seminar 5 people with different awareness level, and each one will get amazing results.
Yeah.
Because the data is true. And because the data is true, it cuts through the lies that you hold that define your level of understanding at the moment.
And breaks through.
And breaks through, because truth undo lies. Truth is this thing that undo lies.
Yeah.
So how do you know that something is true? Not because someone told you, or not because there's some kind of an authority that told you, not because you compare it to something else. This is all not true.
Right.
Yeah. It's not, you don't take that and you say, oh, since this is true, then this is true. No. Yeah. That's not true. This is comparing two things. It's 2 levels of lies.
Right.
Truth. The only way to tell the truth from a lie is truth. Stop continuation. It's undo lies.
Yeah.
When you have truth, and for as long as there's no truth, it's difficult. It's continue. It's not
keeps affecting you.
Exactly. So when I teach something, until you don't make it your own, it will not be truth. Even if what I say is truth. So what I do, I give you a piece of truth from my viewpoint that get you to confront it and find out your truth. The actual truth from your viewpoint. You created, because truth is something that you created. Truth cannot be something that someone tells you.
Yes.
And once you create the truth from your viewpoint, all the problem connected to that pieces of lies that you were holding will go away, because the lies goes away and you shows up.
Yeah, that's
When
amazing.
the lies goes
Exactly
away,
it.
you showed up.
Yes, and that's what we saw. I mean, that material was so powerful. There were people at all levels, and you could see how for each person, they just showed up.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And that's essentially the purpose also of this webinar, is to achieve that result
Exactly the same
in a webinar format.
To take a piece of data to convince you that it's okay for you to know, not to understand what I say, to know. So your knowingness will bring about those understandings that you want to create, but they will not affect you because they don't have continuation, because you create them. It's not an impact. It's not something exterior to you that gave you the understanding.
Yeah, and that's the big difference.
Yeah.
That's what I want to talk about as the final point. But just before, so you go to gprosperity.com/past lives. You'll see a button there that says register free. It's on August 31st, which is a Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So more or less the current time right now, in 2 days from now. And you can register there totally free. So on that point, talking about somebody finds what's true and somebody finds kind of basically their way. So the whole principle here is that, and what was very unique here and what's different, because everybody tells you the truth, you need to follow a specific path. You need to study this in order to get that result. Here, there was a big difference. And it was the concept of your way.
Yeah. So the basic idea, the basic principle that I'm teaching is that people always want someone to tell them how to do things. And there were very, very smart people, much smarter than me, that came up with all kinds of ways to help men.
Yeah.
And you can just think about in the past big names, and you have Buddhism and Taoism and all kind of ism.
Yes.
And you've got all kind of religions, and you've got lots of things which are all amazing. They brought us to here.
Yeah.
However, when you follow up a person, even if that person is a god, you're still in effect.
Because you're under their way.
Because they tell you what to do.
Yeah.
They said this is right, this is wrong, which means you are not trusted to even decide what's right and wrong. I mean, how useless you need to be if someone need to tell you what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah, and that's a big difference, because while you might have come up to the same conclusion that they did of what's right and what's wrong,
it's not you.
It's not you, because you're following them.
Yes. You are robotic. You are the result. You will see that. I had a discussion today with a friend about we're dancing bachata, salsa, and about I was talking to him, and he told me, in the salsa scene there is all kind of issues that sometimes a woman will feel that a man harassing her. And I said, look, a man can harass her only if she said no and he push, physically push. Otherwise, it's not, because if I come to you and I want to dance with you and you say no, then I don't dance with you. I cannot force you to dance.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see any woman that I can press the button and say, move your legs, move your hand, do shine.
Yeah.
And the problem is not if there is a forcing or not, but the problem is that the education, the general view is woman is an effect and man is cause. And this whole thing about Me Too, Me 7 is woman wants to be cause. But how do you become cause if you're crying to be an effect? You want to be cause because. So a man tell you do something not right, make sure he get a blue eye before he open his mouth again.
Yeah.
Or make sure that you live, or make sure that the moment that something happened, a second when you can, you document it, you go and you attack.
Right.
You are not sitting there crying for 7 years.
Right.
And I understand that it's painful. If someone do something for me, I can have two options: to sit down and say, oh, because it's painful, I'm going to be useless. Or I can have the viewpoint, because it's painful, I can be even stronger.
Right.
And most of today's viewpoint is, if it's painful, it's a path to become useless. And then I will wait 57 years. And then when I'm 58, I would tell, oh, you know, this guy did that. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Up after a week.
Right. And it's an allowance to be a victim. We were talking about how with guaranteed prosperity, a lot of what we promote, I mean, everything is based on it's you. You're the one responsible. It's you.
Yeah.
If we wanted to explode and get super popular, we would say how much of a victim you are.
Yeah. It happened to you. Let me show you. Let me cry. I'll give you my shoulder. You cry on my shoulder. Yeah. No. I'll give you a gun. I'll give you power. I'll give you. The Jewish people were extremely smart, but victims. 6 million people died. For thousands of years, they've been pushed around and controlled because someone told them, oh, you poor thing. Look how bad they reacted to you. If I keep on being on look how bad he did things to me, I will be very poor. Yeah. Indeed, poor thing. Yes. But not powerful.
Right.
So if woman wants to be powerful, the only way is to stop being Jewish and start
the first time you would say not to be Jewish.
And start being Israeli.
Yes.
Because there's a big difference between Jewish and Israeli.
True. Yeah.
The Jewish viewpoint is, I'm an effect. Look what happened to me. But I'm very smart. On the Israeli viewpoint is, I'm powerful and I'm smart. And if you touch me, you'll die before you open your mouth.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about, and if I need to die in the process, so be it.
Right.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Crying is not powerful. Crying is for children, babies.
And that's a viewpoint for women, for men, for everyone.
Women, men, children. This is life. This is a tough universe, and only the super powerful survive, and even they have hard time.
Yeah.
So do you want to become more of an effect, more useless? Go to Me Too.
Right. And that's what the connection is also to the whole thing of following somebody's way, right? Because most people want you to be the effect of them, want you to be a victim. And by that, you lose your way.
Exactly.
And what we're saying here is you want to find your past lives, you'll find it your way.
Your way. It has to be your way. It's not Buddhism. It's not Taoism. It's not what mommy said. It's not what daddy said. It's not it's not what science says.
It's also not what Mayor said, even though you're delivering the webinar.
Nothing. The opposite. Yeah. That's my problem. My problem is why I'm saying your source. Because I said, look, anything I say is for you to take and make it your own. Come up with something, even if it's the same words as I said, but it has to be yours. And if you want to change it, change it. And if you see it differently, whatever.
That's the tricky thing with how that's what you're always doing, right? Is saying that. But because you're teaching, everybody's so used to following somebody's way. And you're always saying, no, it's got to be your way. But everybody wants the way to follow. That's their way that I can follow.
Yeah. They say, well, this teacher said that. So because he said that, it's true. It's true for him, not for me.
Yeah, and it may be true and it may not, but you've got to look for yourself.
It has to be you, because truth is something you create. Truth is not something someone give you, because the moment that it went through a distance, it's not true anymore.
So what does it mean, your truth, as a final note before we wrap up, right?
So truth is something that happened at zero time.
Yeah.
It has no time. It has no location, no space, no duration. It is truth.
Yeah.
It's something that has been created, which means it's not physical.
Yeah.
Now, only physical thing can be transferred. The moment that I transfer something, there is a change.
Yeah.
Change in location, change in time, change in the form. It's not here anymore. It's there. Change in what you receive based on your receptions.
Yeah.
There is a change.
Yes.
Truth is this thing that contains no change.
And it's interesting because even if you communicate a truth, it immediately has a change. So it's tricky. So how? Let's say there's
So
a
you
truth.
can communicate viewpoint.
Yes.
You can communicate an opinion.
Yeah.
But there is no such thing as truth. Facts are not truth.
Yeah.
Because what was fact 7 years ago is not today. It was a fact that you loved your wife 5 years ago. Today, it is a fact that you are ready to kill her. You hate her. So what?
Right.
It's changed.
Yes.
Fact is just the current majority agreement. It's not truth.
Yeah, exactly. And so even a truth, which we know is a truth, for example, the spirit knows.
Yeah.
That's truth. The spirit knows.
It's just
But
0 time.
even that,
0 time. You need to recreate it.
Yes, but if you don't recreate it, even that sentence is not true, because my understanding of that sentence is different to yours.
Yeah, but even for me, if I repeat it, I'm now a parrot.
Yeah.
I'm not a spirit. What's the difference between a spirit and a parrot? A parrot repeat, a spirit create.
Yes. Yeah.
And most of the people, if anyone that is a little bit brave, look and you see that what you say, you repeat what you heard. You don't recreate it. And to that degree, you cut your potential.
Yeah.
Because your potential is in creation, not in repeating. If you want repeating, just take a tape recorder or take a parrot or whatever.
Yeah. Train them.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's amazing because people have actually lost their ability to create. They, like, the average person doesn't understand the concept of bring something out of nothing, create. And that's how it's got to be for every truth that you know. But you have to do that. The webinar will show you essentially how to do that.
Yeah, how to recreate every second, how to recreate the second and not be the effect of the second. Anything that you don't create, you're the effect of.
Yeah.
Anything you don't create, you're the effect of. If something happened to you, all you need to know is, I didn't create it, which means I did not take responsibility for it, which means I now will start to blame someone else for my condition and
be the effect of it. And that's the end of it. That's the end of me.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Exactly.
I'm an effect also.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm also an effect.
Yeah, amazing.
I'm like the physical universe.
Amazing. Great. This was amazing. By the way, if anybody's on, I know there's a few people that were on from the actual live seminar. If you want to share in just 1 or 2 sentences about how it was for you, I'll be happy to read it. And again, for everybody that's on gprosperity.com/past lives, you'll see a way to register free webinar in 2 days and show up. It's free. Just you need to invest a little bit of time, but it will give you a lot of time back your whole life.
Let's have a look what Margaret said.
Margaret, such powerful data. I encourage anyone who has even a little interest in this discussion to attend the free webinar to learn more.
Yes, Margaret.
What do you have to lose? Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And Rushina said, aren't we the effect of our environment when we observe?
Yeah. Well, there's looking and there's observing. So looking is a piece of light hit my eye, hit something, then hit my eyes, then hit my brain. I assume that you have a brain. And then it goes to the spirit. Not everyone.
Yeah.
Then it goes to the spirit, go back to the brain, and you say, oh, wow, look what I've seen. This is looking.
Yeah.
Observing is actually, you put it there, and then you say, look how good I am. But you know you put it there. So you can go through life and you will see that you can drive and you don't see anything because you don't put it there. But if you try and drive tomorrow and put the thing there, all of a sudden you see millions and one thing that you didn't see before, because to see something, you need to put it there. How much of the environment can you put there tells about how able you are or how willing you are to demonstrate your ability, not how able you are, because everyone is super able.
Right. That's incredible.
Yes.
Janelle said, the seminar in Toronto was incredible. I found a way to let go of things that were weighing me down for years.
Wow.
That's incredible. That's
amazing,
Janelle. More than amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Ronelle said, listen, participate, and make it your own. Yes, that's a key.
Yes.
Lorna, I have so much more control over my body since Toronto. That's amazing.
Amazing, Lorna. You are amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The wins were unbelievable. The amazing success available is just uncharted for the average person. And I think that this is also material that you haven't I think we lost for a second, but we're back. It's material that we haven't really
again
reached
yes.
into.
No, I think it's still communicating.
Okay, it might be just black.
Yeah, just the picture.
Hopefully you guys can still hear me.
Yeah, I think everyone can hear us still.
So if you do hear me, it's material that is brand new, super powerful, and I highly recommend you join.
Yes, it's so powerful that it become totally black.
Yeah, exactly. That should show you. Okay, Janelle says she can hear. Okay, good.
Yeah, the physical universe doesn't want you to know. That's basically
that's the message here.
That's the message.
Okay.
Here we go.
There we go. All right, guys. On that note, thank you for tuning in. Please share this. Invite people to join the free webinar. And Harold, yes, the wins are still growing and growing. Absolutely. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Abba. Bye, guys. I love you. Bye, guys.